Hi guys, it's Erin at Book Lioness, and I am doing another book reading from our book study of Tarot Wisdom. I am on Death, and there's two readings for this one, no particular layout, and I have my Ludy Lescot deck, so let's get started. I'm going to give them a shuffle. And once more. Oops, that didn't go so well. And I will cut once, twice, 3 times. Okay. First reading, a Death Wisdom reading. So there's 7. I'm going to lay them out. 7 cards here. 7, and there's our deck. Okay, question 1. What is death? Ironically, we have the Death card. Death is all about change. Change, change, change. Something is going to change. Might be for the good, might be for the worse, but change is inevitable. Question 2, where does it come from? Well, we have the Empress. The Empress being the seat of luxury and passion and love. All of these things invoke change, one way or another. Question 3, what causes it? The Star. So it comes from our passion, our love, and what causes it is, well, when we have hope to better ourselves, when we have hope to maybe move, to get a better job, to get a relationship or out of a relationship, anything you possibly think of to hope for, that can spur into things, the little changes that turn into the big change, bringing things along. 4, why do we have to die? Aside from being carbon units, why do we have to die? And we have the 6 of Wands. Well, 6 of Wands, we have to die because we need to, first of all, move on. We need to evolve. We need to go to, what some may say are better places. We need to be successful in our entire evolution. So that's why we have to die. And 5, what comes from death? 7 of Wands. We resist the change at first. We usually do. We usually react with either tears or, anger or frustration, worry, strife. So we fight it at first. We are determined, bound and determined. We hate change. So 6, what will come after? We have the Knight of Swords. After we've done our resisting, then we decide, what can I do about it? And our thoughts are, hyperactive. We almost don't focus. We're, flighty. So it's a knee-jerk reaction to change. Be it good or bad. Our thoughts tend to be erratic. And, sometimes we'll speak out to those we love without thinking about it. Sometimes we just, like this guy, we go for broke, jump into the charge. And last, what does it mean in a reading? And we have the Hierophant. So in a reading, it could mean a change in your traditions, a change in your beliefs. Interesting. This deck is a totally, different version of Rider-Waite-Smith, but I like to use it for shadow work, and I think it helps you, look into the darker things that you might not want to look at. So let me move these cards around in here before I give it a shuffle so they're not, stuck together for our part 2. There we go. Okay, so let's give these a shuffle, and then we'll do the second reading. Okay. Right. Okay, now we will cut it 3 times. Once, twice, and 3 times. A death personal reading. So the first one was for wisdom. This one also has 7 questions. So let's put these out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. Question 1. What is my attitude to death? And we have the Chariot. It is a balancing of life. It is controlling your fear and understanding that it's inevitable. You are on that path. You can't exactly get off. We're all kind of heading in the same direction. And it's a balance of understanding that it's something we inevitably have to face and controlling that fear. Question 2, how am I okay with it? And we have the Queen of Cups. I'm okay with it because I can feel the emotions that go along with it. I remember when my father passed away, even my both grandparents, it was a very emotional time, and you go through that grief, and you constantly miss them, even years now. I still miss them. So I recognize the emotions involved, and I fully feel them. I don't try to, bury that grief. And I also, not only the grief, but I also feel the joy of remembering them, having those memories throughout my life. So recognizing those feelings, knowing that my cup is always brimming over with feelings for those I've lost, for what's to come. Again, controlling, balancing, and feeling. 3, how do I have trouble with it? And we have the 5 of Wands. Interesting because for me, I think the biggest worry I have with death would be the pain involved. We don't always get to choose what happens to us, and especially with death, we don't know what's going to happen, how we're going to go, and we can't all just peacefully go in our sleep, and we can't all just instantly drop. Sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's a sickness, or so my biggest thing I have with it is the pain involved. I struggle with that. Question 4. What needs to die in my life? And we have the Knight of Cups. So the issue probably of over focusing on emotions to the point where you're not seeing if there's danger lurking, or you're getting yourself into some kind of trouble. It's good to have emotions, it's good to feel them, but don't avoid everything else that's going on in your life. Question 4. Oops, I just did that, sorry. Question 5, how do I let it die? And we have the 4 of Wands. So understanding that death is a part of life, and we should actually be happy for those that have moved on. If we're of the belief system where, you know, they go to a better place, or they possibly reincarnate, or maybe they're in the summer lands, maybe they join our ancestors. We should be happy for them. And when we cry, when we grieve, we're crying actually for ourselves, because we miss them. We feel that pain. But they, no matter your belief system, they are either unaware of, you know, what's happening anymore, or they've gone to a better place. So understand that, you know, it's okay that, you know, to celebrate for them, to be happy for them. Let's see, what needs to live? This is the 4 of Pentacles. So what needs to live? I need to understand that even though, you know, things move on and we can balance it, we can feel it, we can be frustrated, we need to understand what we have around us, what we still can celebrate and be happy about. Don't feel we have to lock ourselves up and protect what we have. There's more to life than just worrying, you know, well, how much savings do I have if I die? You know, what will happen to my family and that kind of thing. Last question. How do I help it live? This is the 6 of Pentacles. So this actually goes hand in hand with this. Instead of, you know, holding on, help out. Understand that it's okay. Kind of like, this calls to mind to me that movie Scrooged. I guess this is his hat, but you know, where he's greedy and holding on to everything because that's what he thinks life is all about. And then, you know, when the ghosts come and tell him and show him, you know, the error of his ways, he understands that, you know, it's about giving, it's about helping, and that's what life is really about. So that's how I help it live. So interesting reading. Again, a great book. Thanks, guys, and we will now move on to Temperance.